What is good, Cardano fam, ADA gang? We have lots of exciting updates to unpack today, so hit that subscribe, hit that like. Cardano ADA 24-hour trade volume surpasses $600 million, according to CoinGecko. KuCoin, with over $800 million in 24-hour trade volume, responds to Snek listing inquiry. Says no information on this yet. Will KuCoin list Snek following Kraken? I think it's inevitable, and I think Snek has a super powerful brand, and I think that top 100 is inevitable for the Snek. Constellation Enthusiast and marketer Dagnum P.I says the new market structure bill is super bullish for American blockchains with utility such as ADA, ALGO, AVAX, DAG, and HBAR by not classifying token rewards for nodes, validators, and staking as sales of securities or commodities. So the new market structure bill is basically giving the thumbs up, the green light to proof of stake and all the involvement with that. So that's fantastic, guys. This is great news going into the legislation around the corner. But we have more. Handle hints at new upcoming Bitcoin integrations, says this is just the beginning. Alongside BitcoinOS and Sundial, we made sure that the demo of the first bridgeless transfer between Bitcoin and Cardano could be accomplished using any handle. I really like their simple utility, their simple project. I think we're definitely going to cover them more because we haven't been covering handle enough. If there's any other Cardano native tokens you guys want me to cover, let me know in the comments. Well, we have the Neo Tokyo hoodie on. He's Alex, I'm Alex, we're all Alex. Alex Becker says altcoin season will happen. Most will be sidelined and buy late. Well, a wise man once said you got to speculate to accumulate. And we see this time and time again. For retail, the price going up is the legitimizing factor. And I think we have enough checkpoints to show to us that there's massive fear, massive uncertainty, but that storm too shall pass. But they'll learn the hard way when they buy the top. The modern investor says we are expecting to see a flurry, a large amount of Bitcoin, Cardano, Ethereum, Litecoin, Solana, and XRP ETFs being approved by the SEC in May and June. Well, we have something like 72 plus ETFs. Just with Cardano, we got Grayscale, got the Spot ETF, got the Digital Large Cap Fund going as an ETP. We got the Total Capital ETF, the 2x long one. We got so many, guys. So I'm very bullish. We're going to see what happens. Paul Atkins, of course, pro crypto, spoke at Cardano Summit 2020. Much better choice than Gary, if you ask me. The modern investor also says Fidelity, Bank of America, JPMorgan, and BlackRock are expecting rate cuts by the Fed, the easing of quantitative tightening, and ramping up of money printing for quantitative easing during May, July, September, and November. So it looks like between now and the end of Q4 is going to be crazy in terms of performance. Circle, Kraken, and Stripe strongly support the Genius Act to establish a regulatory framework for stablecoins. In addition, Blockchain Association, the Digital Chamber, and Crypto Council for Innovation jointly urge senators to vote yes on the motion. They also jointly were urging for debate this week on the floor. So they really want to get this framework passed ASAP. Well, speaking of law, guys, New Hampshire, this is breaking news, officially becomes the first state to pass a strategic Bitcoin reserve into law, authorizing the treasurer to buy Bitcoin, and this is something Bitcoin maxis leave out, and top-tier digital assets. So purchases of BTC or any digital asset with a market cap above $500 billion. Well, two questions. A, why even include top-tier digital assets? And two, are they hinting at just a gargantuan flood of capital and liquidity to come into the, Ethereum, XRP, Cardano, etc.? Because with altcoins exceeding this target, they then become automatically eligible to be included in that reserve. And then furthermore, with New Hampshire officially establishing this, it's going to take effect after 60 days. They announced this today in their press release. We're probably going to see a domino effect with other states following suit. So this is exciting, guys. Let's take a quick look at the press release. And in particular, right here. Let the treasurer buy Bitcoin and top-tier digital assets, authorizes reserve purchases of Bitcoin or any digital asset with a market cap above 500 billion. Right now it says today that's only Bitcoin. Today that's only Bitcoin, but at one point other projects are going to get more liquidity as well. Well, some more stuff regarding legislation. Matthew Sigel from VanEck says new US crypto market structure bill just dropped. Looks like a major upgrade from FIT 21. No income wealth limits on retail buyers. No accredited investor or suitability checks. Clear decentralization test. No unilateral control. Greater than 10% holders must be disclosed while the project is still centralized. DeFi protocols exempt if they're non-custodial and don't exercise user discretion. Define stablecoins without calling them securities. Finally, optional early registration path plus a real joint SEC CFTC rulemaking. Solid start. So guys, I know the market's going down, but look at all this incredible momentum that's building up for something that I think is going to be huge in the months to come. So yes, we came down to 6.5, but we're doing pretty good. And I've been watching some price analysis and it looks like we keep playing with this range. Like ADA, if you guys recall when ADA was around that 30-cent range for like 1 month, 2 month, 3 month, it's almost like we've established a new local floor when we touched 50 cents around then, back around April 7th. So we're looking pretty decent still. Like if we can play with these ranges of like 64 cents to like 70 cents, but we'll need to break out from like that 7.3. We need to break out from this range, but we are playing pretty well with this range in general. So ADA 6.7, we're climbing up pretty well. A nice line that we see there, nice tick. XRP 2.14, Bitcoin dominance even higher, 65.13. But Bitcoin is doing well. And there's also a chart that I recommend you guys take a look at. If you take a look at Bitcoin against everything else, it looks eerily similar to the pumps that we saw in 2021. So it looks like we're having that moment where we capitulate and then we catapult. It's hard to time the bottom, but more or less it's as if we're near the bottom. Bitcoin dominance is high. Bitcoin searches are low. Participation is low. Fear is extremely high. Uncertainty. Peace dividends we need. Legislation, a la Genius Act and Digital Asset Structure Bill, and many more with nation states, with US states, building Bitcoin reserve, etc. So guys, I think we are setting a strong foundation for a Giga Chad pump that could be coming very soon. Between now and fall, I think that's the timeline. So for me, I'm going to continue to watch the market. I'm going to continue to DCA. I think the most exciting thing 100% is the fact that New Hampshire has now officially become the first state to have this. I would call it crypto reserve because it says Bitcoin reserve, but the fact that they're including top tier digital assets in any digital assets kind of plants the step for the next thing, right? So that forward looking mindset. So let me know, guys, did this surprise you? What do you guys think about the legislation and this Bitcoin reserve? Smash that subscribe, smash that like. I'll see you guys in the next Angry Crypto Show.